Hello to all YouTubers out there, and welcome to yet another educational video by NewYorkSteelo. And today I want to cover up a couple of questions that I got from my build process on the 90-gallon system. Of course, this one here is my 30-gallon nano system, but on my 90-gallon system, which I'm breaking down and rebuilding again, I situated the skimmer in the last stage of the sump refugium. And I got a couple of questions about how effective the skimmer being situated in the last stage is actually going to be when it comes to killing the life that returns back into the display. And so this video here is going to be called Refugiums, Myth and Facts, and we're going to do this quickly. I make these videos so that they can make my life easier for me, and so if someone else actually asks me this question in the future, I'll just refer them back to this video. And so there's several myths and facts involving the use of a refugium. And before I get into that, let me just report that I got a call back today, for those of you who have been following my videos, and I should be receiving the stand either between Tuesday and Friday of next week. So I'm gonna start making those videos and all of that. Quickly wanted to add also that the overwhelming support from all of you out there. I've actually reached over 1,000 subs, and I'm really grateful for that. And I haven't had the time to do the raffle video, but that will be coming up. There may be some changes because the gentleman that bought the fish and everything from the 90-gallon system, he actually took some of my equipment in the closet, but I will be giving away some equipment, so be on the lookout for that video. And so today I'm gonna make two videos. I may do them both today. This one is going to be number one, which is on refugiums, myths and facts, and I'm also going to do a second video on old tank syndrome. Very important to know a little bit about old tank syndrome for those of you who are experienced hobbyists and have been in the hobby for several years running a system, and even very important information for those of you who are just coming into the hobby itself. So today we're going to talk about, we're going to try to differentiate the difference between that of a hang on the back refugium and that of a refugium down below. Now, when you add a refugium down below into a sump area which uses a return pump to pump the water back up, let me tell you that you're a little bit limited when it comes to the use of this type of filtration system below your aquarium inside of your stand. You're limited in three factors. There's three different factors that really come into play when you use this type of filtration. Number one, the refuge area is going to serve for you as, and quickly, let me just state this. There's something, I'm going to make a video on hermit crabs, because I did mention that something was eating my my Christmas tree rock here, and I just picked up that this guy is up on top, and you can see that he's picking on it. And crabs, hermit crabs, are opportunistic eaters. If there's no food in the main display and there's so much life in here that he's actually picking on my Christmas tree rock, and I may have to do something about that. Any questions, comments, concerns in regards to that, you guys can post it down below. So back to the refugium questions here to make my life easier. And so you're rather limited when you use a refugium down below, because what happens is that the return pump, which sucks up everything that's down below, clean water and some of the life, and pumps it back into your main display, is actually going to kill 80 to 90% of the entire life that is being sucked in there. That 10% of the life that's actually going to make it back into the display is going to be, the majority of it is going to be phytoplankton, which is microscopic algae which can feed your corals. And of course, some of this life will continuously make it back. But when it comes to the questions that I got, amphipods, copepods, and all of that, the majority of that life is going to be chopped up. Some of it will make it back into your main display. But there's a huge difference when it comes to incorporating a hang on the back refugium, or a refugium that is situated above your system, which gravity feeds water back into the display, such as you see here. This is my 30-gallon nano system, and it is probably the most natural way that you can build a system. And the only thing that's not natural about the system is, of course, the water movement created by the MP10, the use of carbon, ChemiPure, and the fact that it has a protein skimmer. And so when we're talking about refugiums down below, and I got a couple of questions about situating the skimmer at the end, and let me tell you this, guys. When it comes to a protein skimmer being used in your sump refugium, whether you use it in the front or at the end of the filtration system, the main purpose of having a skimmer pull water from the first stage is mostly for the purpose of the effectiveness of the skimmer, maximizing that effectiveness by pulling in the dirtiest water before it passes through the refugium and then back into the main display. So whether you have it in the front or the back, the main purpose, of course, is to maximize that filtration. If you have it in the front, the best application to use when it comes to this kind of filtration down below in your system is, of course, the skimmer first, then the refugium, and then the return. But do understand that when you ask me if won't the skimmer actually pull all the copepods and amphipods and eat them up and take them out of your system, the answer is that's a little bit of a trick question, because considering that your return pump is also going to pull some of this life, is going to literally chop it up and return it back, killing everything, it's a bit of a trick question. And you're rather limited in how much of the life is actually going to make it back into your main display when you use this type of filtration down below. And so, a refugium down below is going to work for you in three purposes. Purpose number one, it is going to serve as a safe haven, and it's basically going to do what it is called a refuged area for plants and animals, which would otherwise, be subjected to predation in your main display. And so that's reason number one, you want to set up that filtration system down below. Reason number two, it is going to serve as a natural filter for your system, consuming phosphates, nitrates, and the such out of your system via the use of macroalgae and a deep sand bed, if that's what you decide to use. And so the third and final real reason to have a refugium down below is, of course, to create a natural habitat, a biotope for that matter, for your critters to populate themselves, and basically will serve as a cleanup crew for the entire sump refugium area. So it'll keep the detritus away from accumulating itself from the sand bed. There will be no need to siphon that sand bed down below, but that's really where it stops, when it comes to having a refugium down below. Because even if you were to situate the skimmer in the first stage, the return pump is going to chop up the majority of the life. And even if you were to put the skimmer in the last stage, some of the life will still make it back into your refugium. Into your main display. And so when we differentiate the use of a refugium down below, and we discuss that of a hang on the back refugium, or better yet, any type of refugium that is situated above your aquarium, which gravity feeds water and all the critters back into your system, this is the most effective way for you to provide a natural food source for your animals. So if the purpose of you having a refugium, you also want it to be that of a continuous natural food source for your animals, then I really recommend you to go that route and install a hang on the back refugium, or better yet, a refugium that is going to gravity feed water back into the system. When it comes to having the refugium down below, you're limited to those three factors. When it comes to having a refugium hanging or gravity feeding water back into your system, you can have those 3 factors, and factor number 4, which is a continuous food source for your plant, for your corals and fish continuously. So I just really wanted to clear that up, and I hope this video has been informational. My battery's actually dying out. Stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be on old tank syndrome. I will really touch up on that, old and new tank syndrome. Many more videos to come, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you found it informational. NewYorkSteelo signing out. Until next time, be sure to come on back, guys. Peace.